With the election season, transparency and truthfulness are key. Communications expert Tim Ward has co-written a book called Pro-Truth, a practical plan for putting truth back into politics, looking at the key ethical considerations and plan for putting trust back into public life. And Tim Ward joins us now with more. Good morning to you.
Hi, Maureen.
How are we going to put truth back in politics when it seems now more than ever everyone believes everyone else is lying?
Well, indeed, truth does matter in politics. And the strange thing is that people tend to accept a certain lack of truthfulness in their politicians. I mean, levels that we wouldn't accept in a business partner who lied to us, deal breaker. A spouse who was lying to us, big problems. How about a doctor who lied to us? We wouldn't do it. And yet, when it comes to our political leaders, we tend to accept that they're going to lie. So how can we not only figure out their lies, but change their behavior? Why
do we expect them to lie? These are people we charge with making decisions for us and on health care, family issues. Why do we allow them to lie?
You know, the truth is, a lot of people want to be told what they want to hear.
And the comfortable lie.
Exactly. Comfortable lies. They get, they have a certain worldview, and when somebody tells them something that well matches that worldview, they feel good. But, you know, again, if your best friend only told you what you want to hear, you wouldn't really trust their advice. So how do we get politicians to not tell us what to hear, but what's actually true?
Exactly.
I mean, the pandemic's been a good example of that.
Where do we go now? Because, yes, we know they're not telling us the truth, but we want to hold them accountable. Where do we go, and how does your book help us get to that point, more importantly?
There's three things. The first is you've got to protect yourself from lies. And this book here is filled with great practical things that you can do to recognize lies when they're coming at you, to learn about the ways our brains are framed to make us easy to deceive, and then to look for the things that can be done to deceive us, something called the illusory truth. When someone repeats a lie a lot of times, it becomes familiar, becomes comfortable, and we start to think it's true. But then hold people accountable. The book is connected to something called the Pro-Truth Pledge, which you can go to find online. And it's a list of truthful behaviors that not only you can sign to make sure that you aren't spreading this information on social media, but also that policymakers sign. Over 1,000 politicians, elected officials have signed this pledge so far, vowing that they will not spread misinformation.
Well, we can only hope that it catches on, especially in this election cycle where we're seeing real issues of contention here. How can we get a copy of this book, and how can we take this pledge?
Well, super easy to get the book. Any online bookstore, if there are stores that are actually open, they may have it or can order it for you. But, you know, any of the online retailers, they have it. And the pledge is, www.protruthpledge.org. Anybody can go on, can read the pledge, can sign it, and most importantly, ask others to sign it. On town halls that are coming up, debates at the congressional level, at every level, people should ask their politicians, will you take the Pro-Truth Pledge? Surprisingly, over 50 legislatures around the country have already signed it, including several members of Congress.
Well, we're glad to hear it. May the words alternate facts, falsehoods, etc., may we no longer hear that in the near future. Tim Ward, thank you so much. Again, the book is called Pro-Truth. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Maureen.